Today we're talking about how to how to optimize your business, your life, what I'm actually using AI for, what AI to use, all those like rudimental questions, and then I've actually got some bullet points on things that have been my favorite things to actually use AI specifically for. So, without further ado, let's jump in. Chat GP. I'm calling this Chat GBT for Airbnb host, for a lack of a better term. Drop in the comments if you're watching live. Thank you guys. See at least a handful of people on here. Appreciate you jumping on. Let me know what you specifically use AI for in your life, in your business, and how has it helped? Has it hurt? I'd be curious to hear everybody's thoughts here. So, without further ado, let's jump into my screen. Once again, I've got the notes for you. If you want a copy of the notes, they are going to be in our school community, which is 100% free. I'm going to drop the link down below so everybody has access to it. Jump in there. It's 100% free. There's a free program about Airbnb hosting, how to make more money, how to get more deals, how to run operations smoothly, hire VAs, make more money, yada yada yada. So jump in there. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Let me. All right, that should be able to everybody to see it. Make that a little smaller. All right, sweet. So one kind of thing that I use is I use AI specifically instead of Google. It sounds so new age, new school to use that instead of Google. But when I typically everything that I used to Google, I've just been plugging into ChatGPT or some of the other ones that I'm about to mention to you. And it gives me a much more consolidated response, more consolidated answer than going to Google, then having to sift through multiple articles, going back, like, okay, I got to watch this 30-minute video to answer this question. Like, it just compresses all of the data into like text, couple sentence format, and I can talk back to it. So if it's like, okay, that's not what I want, like, give me a video form, give me, this instead. So I'm essentially using it instead of Google. I think another big question is that I had written down is which one to use, which AI to use. There's a lot out there, right? Can be confusing. Which one to use? Is this legit? Is this fake news? Like all that crap. Here's the three most popular ones in order that I have used. So ChatGPT, that's kind of my first stop. If I can't get the info there, I will go to Claude, and then Perplexity. Once again, all these are free, 100% free. So let me put that in caps. This is a 100% service that the most efficient people, the most efficient business owners, the most efficient hosts are using. I've debated on upgrading. I'm not sure actually if somebody pays for one of these. If you pay for like ChatGPT Pro, let me know if it's worth it. They try to upsell you. I just don't know, man. For the free version, I get 99% of my questions answered, and it's like really freaking good. So, ChatGPT is the first one. Claude is more like Claude and Perplexity. It seems like those are more like research based versus this is like large language model. Don't ask me what that means. It just seems like this is kind of summarized, and these are like referencing. Okay, you can go to this article. You can go to this article to find that info. So how am I using it is probably the bigger question. I've used it honestly for a ton of stuff, but I'm going to give you my probably favorite 8 things that I've used it. Just this week on a lot of things. So specifically for Airbnb host, I think guest communications, that's the easy one. It's like have ChatGPT write your questions and answers, and have them make it sound good and more professional. You can give it a specific tone and all that. So that's like, hey, a guest says, my hot water heater is not working. Okay, go to ChatGPT or have your virtual assistant if you have some. If you don't, I've got a great connect. Just shoot me a DM. I can connect you with our team there. Like, okay, how do I troubleshoot a hot water heater? Here's what the guest has told me. what things should I try to help resolve those remotely? That has helped tremendously figuring out like what's going on at properties and helping our team give them the ammunition versus if they chances are they don't know like the ins and outs of hot water heater specifically in western world, like hot water heater probably different from where they're at, so having it contextualized as well, that's huge. Marketing, I think that's immediately where my thought went whenever I started to look at a lot of these chat GBTs and all that is like how to how to scale your marketing. My honest opinion is they're not there yet. It's not as good as I want it to be. Maybe I'm a perfectionist. Maybe I'm a little picky. Maybe I know too much in the marketing realm, but I don't feel like it's there yet. We do use a little bit of marketing and like the listing description and for the photo captions and all that, but it's like highly adaptive. We'll be like, okay, here's our tone, here's our language, here's like the terminology that we use, like dumb it down to a sixth grade level. It's not there yet, even though you can change a lot of these settings and set your tone in chat gpt and some, but I think it just sounds a little too robotic. um Yes. Well, Scott, ChatGPT for Twilight editing. We're actually texting a little bit back and forth. Man, I wish I could cue that video up that you sent me, but it is pretty freaking amazing for editing photos specifically and adding like Twilight. Man, photographers, honestly, so many industries are going to be, you're not going to get replaced by ChatGPT. I just think that people who are going to win are going to be able to leverage ChatGPT to be more effective and to, like, if I can only handle, let's say I can manage 25 properties myself, but with AI, if I can manage 40 by myself, my output just immediately, I mean, almost doubles in that example. So kind of back to the marketing. I think it's a little too robotic. I think people like are smart enough to know like, this is probably Chat GPT. Now, one thing within marketing I do think is pretty freaking close is lead magnets. We're getting there with lead magnets. What I mean by lead magnet is, let me actually scroll up so you guys don't have to watch to the end. Yes, love the Twilight editing. So lead magnets, like for example, I just went to a real estate meetup, more for like agents, but she was using lead magnets specifically for like new home buyers, breaking down the neighborhoods, like those lead magnets to where people ask you those questions. Instead of you answering it one on one, you send them the same lead magnet that you could send to everybody else. It's a lot more scalable. Those things are actually, they're there. You can do that now. So I've actually started using this as very complex questions. So think like tax, think lawyer, think higher level professionals that you typically have to pay for their services. Obviously, I'm not saying write up a legal partnership agreement just on Chat GPT or like have them file your taxes for you. It's definitely like that's a terrible idea. But just to get some of that info and consolidate it based on your context is 100% worth it. Like, for example, I have been researching a ton about the STR loophole, the tax advantages, how to pay the least amount based on me and my wife's situation, right? So I've like loaded, okay, here's the W2 income, here's our write-offs. Like, can you crunch those numbers and tell me how, if I can apply for this STR loophole, is a cost segregation study worth it? What are can you find me a cost seg provider in Charlotte, North Carolina for this house that I bought? Here's how much I spent on the house. Here's how much I put on furnishing. And it just, oh my God, it is freaking so powerful. It's like your own tax advisor, your own legal advice. Now, obviously, that's not the end all be all. I'm going to run this specific thing through my attorney, through my accountant as well. but it's just to get 80% of the info and contextualize it to like our specific scenario. Hope that makes sense. um Once again, not legal advice, not tax advice, but that has been really really powerful. I'm going to do a whole separate video on call sex studies. Once I understand it, I don't feel like I can teach it yet. I've been diving, super diving into it the last couple of months. It's going to be close. I've actually got this question a lot, and I want to share my knowledge on this and how I think real estate investors, specifically self managers, can leverage this and save a ton on tax. So another one. I've actually uploaded our business profit and loss. You might not know what P&L means. So essentially, our financial statement of like how much money did we make, what are our gross margins, what are our net margins, what's our EBITDA, like all those fancy terms. And then to take it one step further, is compare that to the market. That's actually, I was like, okay, compare this to other Airbnb managers and how are we doing? Can you tell me some opportunities that we may be missing out on? And it just freaking blew my mind. It was like, oh, okay, yep, your profit margin is in the top 5%. Here's some opportunities you could be overspending on. I would negotiate this software down to this based on what other people are paying for this. It was freaking amazing what this did, and it just, God, man, it's so powerful. It really is. But one thing at a time is just load it and have it compare. I think that's super valuable. Another specific example, I love Price Labs. I love the data. I'm a freaking nerd. Our clients probably don't love the data as much as I do. But what I'll do with Price Labs specifically is if I've got a client that's like, we're setting up their Price Labs or we're handling their getting them bookings and making them more money and them not doing anything. If you want that service, just shoot me a DM, Caleb W. Shore, and I'll get you more info there. But I will upload, if you're like handling this on your own and you're kind of overwhelmed with the data, you're not alone. I've like exported Price Labs data, uploaded it into ChatGPT to analyze and tell me like, hey, where are we overpriced? Where are we underpriced? Are we too strict on minimums? You gotta, full disclosure, you gotta load a ton of data for that to be accurate. Because it's not smart enough to go out and find that info. You've got to kind of spoon feed it this specific example. But once you do, and once you have everything loaded, it's really, really powerful. I'm just kind of rolling through these. If anybody has any questions or how what you've seen work well, drop them in the comments below. This is hopefully we'll kind of get the ball rolling for you. We recently just hired 2 new inspectors, and actually we are hiring a revenue manager as we speak, getting them onboarded, getting her onboarded. I've like uploaded interviews and resumes, like the Zoom recording and resumes. I've uploaded them to ChatGPT and been like, hey, can you summarize based on, here's the job description, here's the 10 interviews and 10 resumes that we just interviewed. Can you, based on that, give me the top candidates that meet those? So you can, based on not only their resume, right? You based on the Zoom recordings of their interviews. So kind of an advanced thing. Obviously, it takes some time to kind of crunch that data, but you're getting kind of a second opinion. I think it's kind of like a very smart admin on your side, sitting with you in these calls. Bonus here is we've been doing the predictive indicator. It's a personality test. I think it's called PDI, predictive indicator. I don't know. Just type in predictive indicator. We've actually been doing this on all new employees and then all of our team members as well, just to get their personality test and making sure we know what they do well, what they don't do well, making sure they know, because they probably don't know. I took it and I was like, holy crap, I know more about myself when I'm doing that. So we didn't do it, but we can even upload their personality test with their interviews, with their resumes, and then have ChatGPT, do a high level analysis. Okay, based on all that, here's prospect one, here's prospect two, here's prospect three, and then you can, either hire those people or potentially do like a round two of interviews. Learning, this is something that I think will probably help me the most is like knowledge consumption. So, in the gym, in the car, when I'm going on runs, I don't ever listen to music anymore. It's all podcast. It's all like growing or learning something. I believe in like just in time learning. Um, JIT is what I call it. I could probably do a whole separate video, but essentially like I don't know everything and I don't really care to know everything. But when I need to know it, I will consume every piece of content on that subject until I am a freaking expert at it. It's just my ADHD, like whatever you want to call it. But I will go in on that one subject until I know it, front to back, in and out, and then I can obviously teach you guys. That's why the call seg and the STR loophole. I'm going to do a whole completely training once I get it. But I think learning, to kind of circle it back from the Chat GPT, I've had it like summarize podcast where I'm like, hey, here's the script. Can you just give me a high level view of like the main talking points? And if you're looking for something specific, like I probably binged maybe like 7 long form podcast and YouTube videos regarding the STR loophole and call segregation studies. Whenever I went through that, I listened to those things twice in a row, took notes, and then uploaded the scripts into ChatGPT and say, hey, can you summarize this for me and like make a decision tree, make this super simple to where a 12-year-old could understand what bonus depreciation is, accelerated depreciation, and call seg and all that. So just kind of summarizing those notes. So that was a lot. I know. Hopefully that was helpful. I feel like I've been talking a mile a minute, but I get freaking pumped about this stuff. I love it. So question for you, what have you used ChatGPT for? Or like maybe there's something that I don't know. Maybe there's some of these that there is a separate one that I'm just not aware of. So shoot me a DM. I would love to chat further about this. I will probably do a part 2 on this of like other things that I have learned, things that I've learned, things that have gone well, not gone well, and try to contextualize it for your specific industry, for specific use cases. So without further ado, thank you guys for watching. Love you.